Let me tell you something right now. Going no contact with a narcissist is one of the toughest and bravest choices you will ever make. If you are here listening, it means you have either already done it or you're thinking about it. But here is the truth. Just because you are finished with them does not mean they are finished with you. In fact, the very moment you go quiet, that is when their real game begins. Narcissists do not just walk away. They plan, they plot, and they wait. They are not staying silent because they respect your boundaries. They are not avoiding you because they have moved on. They are quiet because they are calculating their next move. Today, I am pulling back that curtain. I am going to show you the 7 hidden things a narcissist secretly wants from you when you cut them off. I am not talking about the obvious drama. I am talking about what is happening in the background. I mean what they are hoping you will do, what they are waiting to see, and why your silence is not rest for them. It is strategy. If you have ever doubted your choice, or if you have ever wondered why you still feel like they are pulling at your emotions, stay with me. By the time you finish this, you will see their game plan clearly. Even better, you will know exactly how to win. When you go no contact with a narcissist, it triggers a reaction. It might not be a big argument or a direct fight. Sometimes it is something small, like a post, a like, a story view, or a quick message. It is anything that shows them they still get under your skin. When you go silent, their mind does not see that as the end. It sees it as a challenge and a test of power. Trust me, they are watching. They monitor every move, even when it looks like they have forgotten you. Your silence is not just silence to them. It is a threat to the control they once held. Narcissists survive on attention. It does not matter if it is love or anger, it is all supply. When you cut contact, it is like you have shut off their air. That silence and peace are powerful to you, but unbearable to them. It confuses them and frustrates them. It makes them question their grip. They cannot stand not knowing how you feel. What they hate even more is the idea that you might actually be doing fine without them. So what do? They poke at you. At first, it is small. They might view your story but never send a word. They might post something vague that sounds like it is aimed at you. They might ask a mutual friend about you or leave a comment somewhere from your past, hoping it reaches you. All of this is bait. They want a reaction. Any reaction proves you are still in the game, even if you think you are not. This is where it gets dangerous. Narcissists know your patterns. They know what gets under your skin. If they cannot make you talk, they will settle for making you feel. If they cannot drag you back into their world, they will settle for living in your mind. They want you replaying the last fight. They want you checking their social media and wondering if they are happy. They want you angry or sad because every emotional reaction, even one you do not show, gives them power. They do not need you to text them. They just need to know that you care. That is their victory. If you still care, they still control the game. The second you react even slightly with a comment, an emotional post, or a shared quote, they know the door is still open. If the door is open, they can step right back in when they want. Now, let us talk about the mind games they play during no contact. Sometimes they will disappear on purpose, hoping you will start wondering why. You might ask why they are not trying to reach out. You might wonder if they forgot you that fast, or if they ever cared at all. That silence is staged. It is not peace. It is a trick. They are using their absence to make you doubt your choice. They want your confusion to push you into breaking no contact. The second you text or reach out, it is over. They have won back control. They do not just want a reaction, they expect it. They rely on it. They truly believe you will not last. They think you will miss them, second guess yourself, and give in. If they cannot get to you directly, they will come at you indirectly. They will post subtle messages, spread half-truths, or suddenly start showing off a new relationship. It is not because they have moved on. It is because they want to keep you watching. They want to make sure you still feel something. Feelings equal attention, and attention equals control. Every move they make during no contact is calculated. It is not progress, it is manipulation. They are not moving forward. They are trying to pull you backward. They want to reset the same painful cycle. They want to make sure that even when you are silent, they still hold space in your thoughts. Every single day you stay quiet, you take back your strength piece by piece. When a narcissist loses access to you, they do not suddenly become self-aware. They do not feel real regret. Instead, they twist your silence into guilt. They want to turn it into a mirror that makes you doubt yourself. They crave your guilt, your second-guessing, and your emotional confusion. They know guilt is one of the strongest chains. If they cannot touch you physically, they will work to live inside your mind for free. For them, your silence is not just rejection, it is humiliation. It is an attack on their ego. Instead of facing that truth, they rewrite the story. Suddenly, you are the one who is cold. You are the one who walked away without trying. You become the villain. This reversal is powerful because it makes you question your own reality. You start replaying every conversation and every argument, wondering where things went wrong. They want that. They want you lost in that emotional loop, so deep in it that you start forgetting why you went no contact in the first place. They want you remembering the good moments, the charm and the laughter while ignoring the manipulation and pain. They want you thinking that maybe you overreacted or that maybe they were not that bad. They want you to think you gave up too soon. That doubt is their back door. If they can plant even one seed of shame in your mind, they know it is only a matter of time before you feel like you owe them something, like a text, an explanation, or a chance. Narcissists are masters at using your empathy against you. That is why they chose you. Your compassion, your loyalty, and your depth are everything they do not have, so they feed off them. When they cannot guilt you into returning, they will guilt you for leaving. They will act like they are broken, abandoned, or misunderstood. They will play the victim, not always directly, but through others. They use mutual friends, social media posts, or subtle silence that pulls at your conscience. It is manipulation without direct contact. It works especially well when you are still healing. For a kind person, guilt feels unbearable. They know it and count on it. They do not want your love. They want your emotional energy and your inner turmoil. That invisible tension you carry late at night when you start thinking you were too harsh or too sensitive is their goal. They hand you their emotional mess and stand back to watch if you will clean it up. They do not want peace, they want confusion. They want to make your strength feel like cruelty and your distance feel like betrayal. When guilt grows, it does not whisper, it screams. Narcissists know how to make it echo until it fill your thoughts. Even without contact, they want control. They want to live in your mind. They want your obsession. They do not want the kind where you chase them, but the kind where you cannot stop replaying what happened. They want you wondering what you could have done differently or thinking about what they are doing now. That is the real goal. If they cannot have your body or your time, they will take your peace. For them, Being remembered or even being hated is still power. When you find yourself replaying arguments or imagining what they might say if you talked again, that is them still pulling the strings. They built that loop in your head on purpose. They trained you to question, to hope, and to fix things. Every time you resist that urge to reach out, you break that loop a little more. You start replacing their voice with your own. You stop asking if they will change and start saying that you deserve calm. That is where your real power begins. Narcissists can only live where chaos exists. The more peace you choose, the less air they have to breathe. The more silent you stay, the more invisible their control becomes. Your distance is not weakness, it is recovery. It is the end of their illusion and the start of your freedom. Analyzing their actions, trying to make sense of mixed signals, or constantly checking social media to see if they have posted something new is energy. It is attention. They love knowing they still hold that much power over you without saying a single word. To them, it means the bond is not broken, it has just shifted. They do not need to talk when they have already taken space inside your mind. This is exactly why narcissists end relationships surrounded by confusion. They almost never give you closure. They will not take responsibility or explain themselves. They definitely will not acknowledge your pain. Instead, they disappear, ghost you, or turn cold without any warning. They know that confusion is the quickest path to obsession. The human brain hates open endings. It wants resolution. When someone vanishes or flips the story with no explanation, your mind races to fill in the gaps. You try to find meaning in the chaos, and that is exactly what they count on. The more you think, the more they stay in control. Sometimes they will even sprinkle a little false hope before they disappear. Maybe they mentioned a future with you or apologized just enough to keep you uncertain. Maybe they said they just need space for a while. Those are not innocent comments. They are psychological hooks that keep you wondering if they will come back or if you should wait. Every second you spend trapped in that mental loop is a victory for them. Even their silence can be calculated. By staying quiet, they know your mind will do the work for them. You will wonder why they are not reaching out or if you did something wrong. That emptiness becomes a place that keeps you addicted to thinking about them. They may not send you messages, but they will post something suggestive or a photo that seems to show they are happy without you. None of that is random. It is designed to keep you emotionally spinning. The obsession they create is about emotional control. They want your healing to be slow and your confidence tied to their approval. They want your memories of them to interrupt your peace and your progress. If they still live in your thoughts, they still matter. For them, fading away and being forgotten is the real nightmare. That is why detaching from a narcissist is not only about blocking them. It is about taking back your mental and emotional space. As long as they occupy your thoughts, they do not need to be in your life to affect it. They have built a version of themselves inside your head that replays moments and seconds. Guesses everything. You might not even notice you are doing it. You might mistake it for part of the healing process. But to the narcissist, that ongoing focus is a source of supply. It feeds their ego even in silence. Even when there is no contact, the game continues through the emotional residue they left behind. They count on you to carry it and relive it. They want to stay unforgettable, even if it is through pain. When a narcissist is faced with no contact, they rarely see it as a boundary. They see it as a break in their game. They do not truly believe you are gone for good. They assume you will return one day. They count on it because they have trained you through cycles of chaos and attention. They have conditioned your emotions to seek their approval even when it hurts. When you finally pull away, they do not panic. They wait. They expect you to break first. They believe their influence lasts forever. They know what makes you feel guilty and what you still secretly hope for. They have shaped a version of themselves that is difficult to fully hate. When you walk away, they think you just need time to cool off and miss them. They believe you will eventually reach out. Until then, they stay quiet, confident that you are still tied to them. Sometimes they will even twist your silence into a weapon. They will tell others you are being cold or that you abandoned them. They do it to make themselves look like the victim. If they can make it look like you overreacted, it keeps the door open for them to manipulate you again later. If you feel misunderstood, you might reach out to explain yourself, which is exactly what they want. Even if they say nothing, their thinking does not change. In their mind, you are just being emotional. They tell themselves you will come back once you calm down. That is why many narcissists do not rush in when you go silent. They are testy. End your strength to see how long it takes before you crumble. They want to confirm that the dependency they built still lives inside you. If you reach out even once, they take it as proof of ownership. They think they still own part of your heart. They count on time to help them. They wait for the anger to fade and for your clarity to blur. They know how memories work. With time, you might forget the constant anxiety and the exhaustion of walking on eggshells. You might only remember the connection and the highs. They rely on that. If they sense you are moving on, they will subtly reappear to stir old emotions. They might send a simple message or share a song you both loved. These moments are not signs of growth. They are bait. They want you to wonder if they have changed or if there is still hope. But they are only testing the door to see if it is still unlocked. The hardest part about no contact is letting go of the fantasy that they will one day see your value or treat you the way you deserve. Narcissists know this and they use it. They know you want answers and closure. They want you to believe it all meant something. That is why they do not always chase you. In their mind, you will eventually do it for them. When they lose access to you, they shift their focus. One of the first things they try to control is the story. It is about manipulation. When you stop communicating, they use other paths like mutual friends or social media. They start telling their version of the story first. They plant seeds of doubt about you. They will say they do not know what happened or that they tried everything. Those words sound harmless but are very strategic. They make you look unstable or cold. Because narcissists often appear charming, people tend to side with them. To outsiders, they look hurt while you become the one who seems unreasonable. Image is everything to them. Being seen as the bad guy is their worst fear. When you go no contact, it is the loss of control over how they are seen that bothers them. They rush to fill the blank space in their story with lies. They cannot stand the idea that people might see who they truly are. They craft a new version where you are the problem and you are the reason it all fell apart. Sometimes they do not even need to say much. They will post vague quotes about betrayal perfectly timed to make it look like they are recovering from someone like you. It is all a performance. It works because no one else saw what you went through. They did not see the manipulation or the silent punishment. They only see what the narcissist wants them to see. Protecting your peace means more than blocking them. It means refusing to explain yourself to anyone who believes their lies. Silence is power when it is intentional. Detachment is victory when it is chosen. The moment you stop trying to prove your truth to people who want to misunderstand you, you begin to heal.